Welcome back. Had some technical difficulties over there. We got some new faces in here from the last stream. What's up, GTX? Hola. What's that? Whoa, how you say that name, man? Did allow. How you say that, man? Did allow. Break It Dawn has arrived over here. Okay. All right. It's early for you. A little too early for you to have a nightcap with your boy, but you know, have one in spirit. We're streaming about 30 minutes or so. Just and it ended it just a little while ago. My computer kind of locked up. Haven't had that happen since I had an AMD, was it AMD 5700 XT GPU? That thing used to give me some woes. Trying to get back on track here. All right. I don't remember where I left off. Oh, I left off with somebody asking me if I'm a radio DJ, and I said no. Close enough? All right, good. Close enough to do it for me. Jack Stevens, what's happening, man? Gonna have to crack open a beer to make it a nightcap. There you go, man. By any means necessary. Salute, my guy. A Michelob Ultra nightcap. MD300 waiting for the Corsair. Man, I was so hyped for that ship until I seen the interior. I forgot it was a Drake until I seen that interior. And I typically like Drake, but it just looks too cool on the outside for that typical Drake interior, man. I wish it would make some ships under the same manufacturer umbrella a little bit different, man. Just a little bit different, man. I mean, because that's the thing you got to be in. It's an Explorer, right? So you got to be in that thing for a while. And I don't know. Maybe it'll be better than I'm thinking. I'm just basing off the pictures I look, because it looked like a caterpillar inside. It just reminded me of Caterpillar, which I like the Caterpillar, but I don't know if I want to spend copious amounts of time inside of that thing. But yeah, man, we'll wait to see. We'll have to reserve judgment on that. I don't want to sound like a Drake hater, because I love Drake. I love Drake, man. Be careful with this thing, mic. Better than USB mode, and that thing is temperamental. What other ships y'all waiting on? Most people probably know what I'm waiting on. One ship I've been waiting ever since I started, a little bit past when I started Star Citizen 4. Hopefully it'll be out late next year. They've been working on it. Been working on it tough. I am back, man. I am back. Had some technical difficulties. My computer locked up on me. Couldn't do anything. Couldn't even get back to the stream on my laptop to let everybody know what's going on. But hey, man, you back? That's all that matters, boss. That's all that matters. So have y'all seen the ISC? I'm gonna ask y'all again. Have y'all seen it? Because I have not seen it. And if y'all don't mind, I kind of want to take a look at it. I mean, it's the last one of the quarter. I don't know. They on a break. Well, I don't know when they're supposed to come back, but they on hiatus as of now. So I'd like to take a look. Hey, I'm just gonna crank it up, man. Unless y'all speak now or hold your peace. Have me one of these on Halloween. I don't hear any objections, so I'm gonna go ahead and crank it up. What's up, Seto? You Seto? I'm be jacking up everybody's name tonight. But regardless, what's happening, boss? I'm gonna crank it up, man. There's been no objections. Oh, got a thumbs up there. All right. We're gonna do this damn thing then. Go ahead and move over to the desktop. Kill this Muzak. Oops. In fact, go ahead and switch it up so I'm not taking up so much screen real estate there, Playboy. Oops, not mean to do that. I got that behind me. All right. Let's do it, huh? Things in 1080. Crank this up. Music's still playing.
It's a time of change here at Star Citizen. The Frankfurt office has moved into their new digs. The Winslow office prepares to migrate to Manchester starting next week. Our CitizenCon presentations are looming just 9 days away. And much of the focus of our development teams at present is in preparing for the upcoming Alpha 3.18, with persistent entity streaming that serves as the foundation not only of server meshing in Alpha 4.0, but everything else in the persistent universe as well. And since Alpha 3.18 is now scheduled to arrive in the first half of November, and ISC enters its regularly scheduled hiatus the next few weeks, we thought we'd take the opportunity to try something new with our last episode of the quarter. A follow-up to each of the 3.18 related feature segments that we've done this quarter, looking at how they've continued to grow since we last showed them to you, answering your questions that you had after watching, and rolling them all into one big supersized report that we're calling the ISC follow-up, because we're really, really good at naming things. Enjoy.
So since updating you on the rivers earlier this year, I've been focusing on the visual quality of the rivers themselves, so that when you explore them, they are looking better than ever. I think the biggest visual change I've introduced to the rivers is the new cliff spawn points. Previously, where we had steep edges along the river, we just had the terrain texture that we get on steeper parts of the terrain. But I wanted to kind of increase the visual fidelity of this by spawning cliff meshes along the edge of it. So that's exactly what we've done. For the cliff mesh spawn points, we add a new spawn point at the height of where the terrain would have been if the river wasn't there, so that we can control where the top of the cliff is relative to the edge of the terrain near it. And that's these red spawn points you can see here. When I turn these back off, you can see we have cliff meshes that look as if they're the right height. You can walk onto them from this terrain here, while still providing a nice kind of closed-in gorge for this river.
A lot taller than I thought it was. Man!
And actually, we were so happy with the results of adding additional spawn points around these gorgy areas that we decided to add more spawn points along the edge of normal rivers as well, so that we can get rocks right along the edge of the water to break up the silhouette between the terrain and the water. You can see those points here, and when I turn back on the scattering, you can see what that looks like. So as you can see, that really helps to break up the silhouette of the water, but also makes the whole area feel denser and more real. Another visual improvement I've worked on for the river is using more splines with the river modifiers. Instead of just a single central spline along the path of the river, we now have a spline for where each of the edges can be. And this gives us much finer control over how the terrain should dip down into the river, which is what actually matters rather than the depth at the middle for most cases. But it also means that we eliminate some of the effects we were getting at sharp bends. What we used to get at the sharp bend of a river was a pinching effect in the middle here, where the terrain would jump from referencing a point somewhere here on the spline to referencing a point somewhere here on the spline. So you can see that they're basically equidistant from a point over here, so we'd either be referencing the terrain from one or the other without ever kind of passing through this middle bit. Now that we have a spline for each edge, we can pick which edge is closer and then more closely reference that when picking the final height for that part of the terrain. And it just means that the edges of our rivers are much, much cleaner. We're getting much less in terms of artifacting that we were seeing before.
Well, the quality is so bad when they show stuff like this. But man, they need some. I mean, this is great that they making iterations on the rivers. But I would love when we get to the point where it's not just like a lazy river, like the same width going around, same speed. We need some rapids. We need some like blockages, some crab monsters building dams on the river. Need some but I mean, so far so good, man. But you know, once you get one thing, you start wanting more stuff, and it's just like a never ending thing. But looking hot though. How many splines? All of them. Jack Stevens, I hope I visit that area on the day with that wind. I never, actually it does get kind of windy. It doesn't get crazy windy, but I would love to get like an inner tube. You can sit on the inner tube or some kind of boat. Probably can't be much of a boat because the river so far ain't very deep. But yeah, man, I want to get on an inner tube and then the wind start blowing, picking up, and then it picks up the inner tube and flings you away. That would be dope.
And the overall result is just a lot better in my opinion. I'm really, really excited to see all of the new rivers come into 3.18 very, very soon. Put a lot of work into improving the visual quality of the rivers, as well as improving the tooling for our artists to be able to place more and more interesting rivers. Our tech artists have been hard at work for the object presets for the rivers to make sure that we're getting really, really cool distributions of objects around them. And I just think what we're going to see in 3.18 is going to be a cut above what we've had so far, and I'm really looking forward to it. Thanks all.
Wow, look at these cliffs. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you that's death right there. You trying to run from somebody and jump off the cliff like insert movie that I can't think of. Try and jump to that river, that's a wrap. Probably wouldn't even make it to the river, but if you did, that's still a wrap, man. I didn't realize, I mean, they could tell they were high, but man, jeez. That's dope, man. Oh man, the canyon races through that is gonna be the hotness. All of them.
Since the last time we spoke about the PTV racetrack, it's been mostly just bug fixing. For the most part, it's been like the usual occasional collision issue we had to fix up. Also, there was like instances where RQA testers just took the card and went off the track and like drove into the elevators and got into other parts of the level. So I kind of had to go around and fence off all the areas where people could leave the track. Also, just in some cases.
Isn't that music kind of Mario Kart-esque? Like updated Mario Kart music a little bit? You don't think so? What is it? Bud's Growery is windy. Is it? I don't think I've ever had to deal with any wind, but I haven't been there often. Was it Billy Kiwi? Geez, haven't played in months, but damn, they done some work. Oh yeah. Django Low, what's happening, man? Oh yeah, it's gonna love fighting through them. Yeah, man. Rivers, and there's so much stuff, dude. Give me something to float on down that thing. And I don't know. I guess can't do too much. I'm about to go crazy with it. Like, yeah, I'm on boogie board. I guess can't boogie board. Give me some kind of craft that could pull me on some jet skis or something.
Cases on like inside the track, there was little shortcuts that could be taken. So also these ones had to unfortunately block them off so nobody can gain an unfair advantage. One of the things we didn't discuss last time is where the buggies actually come from. So they're not something the players bring themselves into the space. There's this little side section of the track where they spawn, and you take them and then just kind of bring them over to the starting line and start from there. And when they're destroyed, then they basically respawn in that section.
I gotta go back and see if they added anything. I was hoping that they added something to the interior of the PTV just for the racing. I mean, would you need a speedometer? I don't know if you need one, but it would be nice. Oh no, I was hoping something was in there. Jesse, racing looks fun. Yes, it does. A Pisces could fit. What in the river? Probably could. Love to see somebody like sideways in the Pisces. going down that bank. I mean, going through that through the middle.
And when they're destroyed, then they basically respawn in that section again. So there's always 8 buggies for the players. I can't wait to see what players will do with it once they get it in their hands.
Since the last time we spoke, Korea has changed a lot in its environment. We've been sort of building up and sort of breathing new life into it, making it on par with some of our other locations in terms of branding and sort of how we want the player to move through the space. With this, CS1 and 2, Crimestat 1 and 2, are no longer going to be things that get you shot or get you, stop you from landing at a location. These fines will essentially just be like mini slaps on the wrists. Law enforcement will comment on them when they stop you and tell you to go pay your fines off, but they're not going to be as big of a meaning as they once was.
Good.
Alongside this, we've also added other ways for the players to get rid of their sort of criminality. The fine kiosks that you can find all around now have a button that allows you to surrender to law enforcement. This gives you the 20% discount of your time served when you go into prison.
That's good.
And as always, this is going to go live and we're going to continue iterating on it, reading feedback and making improvements.
See, that's good right there. A 20% discount on your time by surrendering at the kiosk. It's kind of weird to surrender at a kiosk. I imagine that's got to be temporary, right? Like that can't be the plan going into the future. I'm sure that's just a now thing. I'm sure you get like tackled by security in the future. I stole that Pico, I surrendered. Right. Said, I stole that Pico, I surrendered. What I miss? The speedometer that goes from slow to stop. Man, you know what? Actually, yeah, I guess it ain't that fast. They ain't like terribly slow, but they're not very fast. Maybe they'll pep them up for the racetrack. Maybe they'll have specific versions that go just in the racetracks, or maybe they'll pep all of them up, soup them things up. We could use that, man. You weren't there for our Saturday event like a couple of Saturdays ago, Django. We did it was Tag Your It with the PTV bumper cars, and we had them on the landing pads, the landing pads on the outpost. It was good fun, man. People, like everybody's crashing into each other. People's on fire. People's on foot trying to attack, and they're and they got to tag another vehicle. Anathema did it somehow. I have no idea how she managed that on foot, but she did it. Yeah, man. Don't hate on the PTVs, man. The NPC polish would go far for new players. NPC polish? Like in what way do you mean, sir? Django, maybe you can surrender at the kiosk and then maybe some guard will come collect you. I doubt they'll do that at this point, but yeah, maybe in the future. I'm in my head now, like trying to picture it all. We'll see.
So when the first video released and we was talking about Klesha, I was watching HC Vertigo. And he pretty much nailed the mission and who was given it. So I'm not going to spoil it. I don't want to let you know. But yeah, if you want to find out who it is, go check out HC Virgo. Since the last time we talked about Klesha and the new updates to that, things are going along nicely. We have AI walking about. They have loot on them. They're making the environment feel more alive. The black spot is in. The mission is working. In the mission.
Wait, I'm sorry to go back. He said, who has loot on them?
Loot on them. Nicely, we have AI walking about.
Oh.
They have loot on them. They're making the environment feel more alive. The black spot is in. The mission is working. In the mission, we've added routes coming out of the wall so that even though people might know how to beeline it out of there, now they have to figure out how to get to this place they've never been to before and break the route they're normally used to and then have to rejoin, which is the difficult part because we always make the rejoining bit harder and they can fall all the way down or, whatever. So that's it for the updates to Klesha. Check it out when you get a chance.
if y'all don't come to our Saturday events, which we typically do every Saturday, sometimes I'm not able to make it, like they did one last one without me, and I'm so mad I missed that one because that was a good one that I requested. But y'all need to show up on Saturdays to join our Discord. Just look for the events channel. They'll tell you what time. But we did one. The reason I bring this up, we did one in Klesher where, I don't know, it was like 10 or 12, 15 maybe of us, and it was a race to escape Klesher. Not one of us escaped. I don't know how good you guys are at escaping Klesher, but none of us escaped. It got to the point where our military leader, she was like, dude, all right, this is getting ridiculous. Do you guys want me to come in the opposite way? Come help y'all get out? None of us made it out, man. I've never in my life escaped from Klesher. I don't know what it is. I get lost. I miss some jumps. Something goes wrong. If y'all have escaped from Klesher and y'all good at that, I might have to follow y'all one day because I'm terrible at it, man. I'm going to have to follow it and record it and commit it to memory. Actually, there's no point in doing that if they gonna change it up like this. But I would at least like to say I've done it once. Oh, Django, you was there right before guys started and had to go. Oh, yeah. I remember that. When I went back and looked at the stream. I stream those events on Saturdays when I'm there. There should be NPCs on trains. I feel like there was for a short moment in time. Like, was it this patch or maybe the last patch? There was. In fact, I've seen one or two, but somebody was telling me that they seen like 3, 4, 5 NPCs on a train. They could have been mistaken. It could have been, players in their skivvies, in their civvies. But yeah, man, they should regularly have NPCs on trains. Some of them sitting down, some of them standing up, some of them acting like they in New York and being like really weird, doing just some really bizarre stuff on a train. They should definitely do that. Let's see. I'm running in slow-mo. I would join your Discord shirt. Yeah, do that, Jesse. It's good stuff. Oh, what's today? Today's Friday. All right. I said I was going to do this, and man, I forgot about it till now. I was supposed to give away the Cuddy Black Pirate edition last Sunday, but I was in no state to do it. So I'm going to do it this Sunday. So look out for a time. I would like to do it in the evening on Sunday. Most people, at least in the U.S., will be probably available. The more the merrier. But, lock that in. Keep your eye out for the videos because I'll definitely put an explainer video out beforehand so people know when to show up. And I won't say what we're going to do. I never say that till we're actually out there. But, yeah, keep your eyes open. Let's see. Jack Stevens. Yeah, I've had a few deaths trying. I've had way more than a few. And then I end up like this. Yeah, I can't see that, can y'all? The passed out drunk dude. I've been in prison drinking that Pruno.
How have the caves changed since we last spoke about them? Just some bug fixes and some polish work. So, yeah, they're done.
All right.
So it's been a couple of weeks since the last time we talked about the Daymark crash site, and since then we've mostly been polishing and debugging. We had a go-no-go during which...
Can I go back and look at that real quick? Because I feel like they're not going to do this shot again. This one's huge. This is a huge crash site. And this doesn't even show the ships. Because there's 2 ships, if I'm not mistaken. It's the 600i and the MSR. It's a huge derelict settlement.
It's been a couple of weeks since the last time we talked about the Daymark crash site, and since then we've mostly been polishing and debugging. We had a go-no-go during which everything went smoothly. We actually noticed during playtests that the missions were too easy, so we just did some tweaking. We added some AI.
Wait, what ship is that? First one to get it right gets a hug from me. I don't know. What ship is that? Is that the 600i? Man, they really destroyed that thing.
That the missions were too easy, so we just did some tweaking. We added some AI. On the level art side, they were working on some LODs, so how far the objects are going to display. We did the better navigation pass for AI and for the player. And I think we tweaked a little bit the cave, but there's just a crash chip in there, nothing else. We've also been working in integrating all the missions, so there's going to be 3 missions on the Daymark crash site. There's going to be a kill specific, a kill all, and a delivery missions where you need to go in and gather some loot crates and deliver them. We've also been working on changing up the AI that's there, because currently it's the Ninetales and we wanted to add a little bit more diversity in there. So we're working on adding in the Sand Nomads, which are probably not going to be here for this release, but possibly the next one.
Am I the only one looking forward to that crash site? Because I don't know what exactly we're going to be doing there, but if the Reclaimer is anything to go by, man, the Reclaimer changed the game for FPS. For me, I mean, you got NPCs outside, you got this gigantic ship inside. There was like rare artifacts to find at our current crash sites, or derelict settlements rather. I'm looking forward to that, man. What's up, Miguel Johnson? How you doing, sir? Looking forward to 318. Yes, sir. I think we all are too with you. The Django real life New York train story. I saw a man in business clothing while standing in front of a door in a busy midday train. He opened his briefcase. He pulled out and ate 2 sticks of butter. What? Oh my gosh. Are you serious? You bullshit. I don't believe you, man. I don't know if I believe you on that one, man. More crash sites the merrier. Yes, sir. Gil Johnson, yeah, agree. Reclaimer Rex made things more interesting. Yeah, they did, man. Just having the NPCs walking around outside was a breath of fresh air, because bunkers are probably my bread and butter right now, probably because I'm so lazy lately. But just shooting the same dudes in the same bunkers with very little variation has gotten old. So it's nice to go to the Reclaimer site and the other sites. Not just, I keep saying the Reclaimer like this only one, but the other ones. It's good to go, man. I like it, man. Keto diet. I think so. New York has a whole bunch of weirdos. Yeah, you always hear crazy train stories from New York. Wild place out there.
Since we last talked about the Siege of Horizon mission last week, we forgot to mention there's also some missions just coming to the islands that the Siege of Horizon.
Do you guys say Horizon like he does? Or do you guys say Orison? Let me know in the comments. But that was a weird thing to say. But let me know.
Horizon takes place on. So these missions are going to take place on the islands when Siege isn't active. The missions we have you doing will take you from building to building, eliminating a number of enemies, or maybe taking out a high value target. These missions are currently just like a prototype. They're very basic. They're just kind of exploring what direction we want to go at for these and other islands. So these will be another small addition when 318 goes live.
So there were some questions after we released our last ISC where we talked about hull scraping, and there are some things that I can clarify from our position. So,
real quick, what do y'all think about the just regular missions on the different islands? They call them islands, whatever they call them out there, platforms. I think that's good. It's it's kind of weird that right now there's. Well, it's not weird, but it'd be weird if in the future they only had those islands only when Siege of Orison was going on. So it's good that they're making some use of those. And I like that. Hopefully they got some great loot out there. Tim Gibson, is that Orison? Danielson? Miguel, let's see. Yeah, I keep hearing CIG Dev saying Orison. Yeah. Jack Stevens says Orison, because that's how they pronounce it in their little tourism video. It's canon, y'all. That's right. It Be nice to visit the islands. Oh, you got that little island emoji. Man, that makes me think of what ship was that? It was some Origin ship that they have. Like it was in the advertisement materials. It's sitting on like an island, just surrounded by man. Oh man, I don't even want to think about the beach planets or whatever you want to call them. Yeah, I say Orison. I don't know why. I think I used to say Orison just because I used to think of what was Commander Riker's favorite place? Risa. So I used to say Orison, but now I say Orison. It just feels right, I guess.
What makes a Reclaimer more profitable or better in comparison to the Vulture? For T0, there is no real difference. So the only difference...
Yo, one more time.
Some things that I can clarify from our position. So what makes a Reclaimer more profitable or better in comparison to the Vulture? For T0, there is no real difference. So the only difference there is you have more space to store your scraped off hull material. But the proper differences only come with Salvage T1. So once we talk about munching and actually like converting proper ship debris into smaller bits, the size of the Reclaimer is definitely an advantage here. Some comments were all asking about how can we use the scraper beam in an offensive manner. Technically you can, but you have to make sure that the target ship has its shield deactivated. So as long as another ship is shielded, you will not be able to touch the hull because there's like this energy field that is protecting the hull.
Oh, okay. So that kind of ruins some plans there. He's saying that if the shields are on, you can't extract the whole material from it. I was going to draw so many Captain Winkies on people's ships. I was just going to be a serial graffiti artist drawing jimmies on people's ships, man. And now they took my dream away. I'm going to have to go, if I'm going to do that, I'm going to have to just go in with some distortion weapons while people's inside the bunkers, take out their shields, and then go out and draw giant Johnsons on their ships. See, for every blocker, there's a way around it. Yeah, I think you're right. Settled 600.
So there were also some questions on the repair side, and sadly, this repair iteration isn't the full fleshed out repair that you might need if your ship is fully destroyed. So if you lost a wing, the wing is lost. If you lost your engine, the engine is lost. So your magically repair gun that right now is taking the hull material to create new hull material. So this gun isn't able to 3D print you an engine, a fully functional engine with all its parts. So what it does is just cover-ups of like your hull. So it increases your health of the ship again, but only to a degree where it is reasonable in comparison to what the hull actually stands for.
So just
patches the material that you gather with the vehicle can be converted into the material that you use for your multi-tool to repair ships. There's one more thing. So we saw that you were already asking for what about players that are not interested in any combat scenario or in waiting others to shoot themselves to shreds and then picking up the debris pieces for profit from the hull scraping. Well, we have a solution for you. And the miners of you might already know it. So we will expand our Harvestable system to also facilitate to spawn fresh derelicts. And what are fresh derelicts? Basically, they are just the husks of existing ships that have a probability to spawn in asteroid fields or basically around all the Lagrange points. And you will be able to find them using scanning and then approach them like you would do with a mineable and then scrape off their hull. And that is coming in Alpha 3.18.
That's hot. That's hot right there. That puts that enables the teamwork to make the dream work. You have a ship somebody out, a team out in the Carrack, maybe just 1 or 2 people out in the explorer ship scanning around, or maybe not a Carrack. That's kind of overkill, but then maybe not. Anyway, you got somebody in a ship that got great scanning suite, and they could just report back to other people in their org or their buddies if they're not in the org, and they could just their teammates can go in and sweep up with the geez, I can't remember the ship. The Vulture? Is that what it is? I was getting the Vulture and the SRV and some other ship mixed up. Anyway, Reclaimer or whatever salvage ship that you got. That's going to be good. Now I'm going to have to start learning what the differences are in the scanning suites per ship. Because I don't imagine at least the smaller scanning ship is going to have great scanning capabilities. That's what I think exploration is going to be mostly, is locating resources. I imagine they'll have some sort of like traditional exploration gameplay mechanics, but I think the bulk of it, in my opinion, I don't know, but I think it's going to be resource location. You're going to need to find fuel. You're going to need to find everything you can that other people in other ships can come grab. That's what things going to be about, man. I don't know. What do y'all think? What do you guys think? Let's see. They also say aluminium. I don't know why that's funny to Americans, but it is for some reason. Aluminium. Do y'all, dude, across the pond, do y'all spell it aluminium? Or is it spelled, is there an I after the N? Because there's not one over here. And if y'all don't have the I, where y'all getting that pronunciation from? All right, see you, Jesse. Right on for stopping in, man. Catch you up tomorrow. Good night. Right on, sir.
Oh, what did we learn this week? Well, we learned that when you show a feature the very first week of the season, there's lots of room for additional improvements like we saw with RiverTech. That QA can be just as squirrely as players when testing the arena racetrack. That Correa is looking pretty fresh with its Crusader makeover, and that changes to the law system will make Crime Stat 1 and 2 less troublesome to deal with in the future. In theory. And that while hull stripping won't be the offensive weapon some folks were theorizing, using the Harvestable system to generate non-combat wrecks will be a welcome addition to the more peaceful-minded citizens out there. Now don't forget that CitizenCon is next Saturday, October 8th at 8 a.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. UTC. It's shaping up to be a really informative quarter day, and not just visual updates that you've come to expect, but more design and gameplay presentations that'll lead the way in the Star Citizen's future. For Inside Star Citizen, I'm Jared Huckabee. We'll see you next week at CitizenCon.
CitizenCon! I can't wait to see CitizenCon. Let's take another. What's going on here? Oh. So CitizenCon, more than a week away, right? Just about 8 days, 8 hours, and 3 minutes. It's kind of weird that they're having it virtually, but since they need to go big on this, because if y'all didn't realize, it's the 10th anniversary, and anniversary number 10, you're supposed to go ham. So like, let's see, they got whoa. Planetary Pyro. Guided tour through many of the planets and moons of the upcoming Pyro system, exploring their current development status and why they're more than just burnt, charred husks you may have read about. Design brief. What is this? New underground, where corporations, commerce, and caverns collide. Take your first look at the enormous reimagining of underground facilities and the new gameplay possibilities that'll arrive with them. All right. I don't know what that means. A little cryptic, but I'll take it. Need for multiple speeds. Okay, something about speed and combat. Kind of all right. Lorville. Oh, yeah. Lorville Redux. Yeah, so they're going to do another pass on Lorville. Here you get a first glimpse at how everything learned since then is being reapplied to this wall-polluted city. Yeah, that's good that they're doing another pass on Lorville, because Lorville it still looks cool, but it feels, compared to the other cities or landing zones, it feels a bit old. I can't wait to see what they do with it. I'm really curious what's going on with because they have a chairman's club there. They have the chairman's club in Orison or Orison, if you like. So when are they gonna open them things up anytime soon? Power play, the upcoming resource management system. That's gonna be the thing that really kicks off multi-crew gaming, multi-crew play. How to change the life in the versus we know it from combat to player homesteading and allow for true multi-crew gameplay. Yeah, that's gonna be a big one. That's one of the ones I'm gonna be most paying attention to. Be focused on that one. Of course, some ships, annual presentation from the ship teams, discover the latest vehicles through the pipeline from concept to newly flyable, and a new twist to this year's voting on a new ship to come. We'll see what they got, Batman. Digital goodies. All right, this is where they... All right. Looking forward to it. I just hope it reflects the 10-year status that they own. 10-year, $500 million milestone that they've reached. You know, Fortnite probably reaches that every other week. That's crazy, man. That game, and there's other games. That's not the only one. These, like 500 million, $500 million is a lot of money, but man, over 10 years, that's like nothing compared to other games what they make. Let's see. You bring class to the game, my guy. Oh, appreciate that, sir. Class recognized class, Tim. Jack Stevens. Ooh, I'm looking forward to that Lorville panel. More so than possibly the Pyro stuff. Really? All right. You big excited about it. All right. I'm guessing by the way I found you on Twitch. Keep grinding. I'm here for it. Right on, man. I got to get back. I had stopped streaming on Twitch. I was doing Streamlabs, and it just wasn't. On Streamlabs, you gotta pay unless you do restream. It just wasn't worth it. Twitch, but now that I'm on OBS, I may go ahead and pick that back up. We shall see, my friend. I think that's everything I needed to see here. I don't know what y'all think. That was a good cap off to the end of Inside Star Citizen for this quarter. They said they're gonna be gone a few weeks, so gonna miss those updates. I think the thing I'm looking forward to most, I don't know why, is I keep wanting to call it Mario Kart PTV racing. PTV racing, man. It looks fun. I think it's just the location, the way they designed it, and the lighting and everything makes it look fun. But it looks fun. Ladies and gentlemen, I've just about polished off my nightcap. So I'm going to bid you adieu, as they say in Texas. Make sure you join in the Discord if you want to rock with us on Saturdays. They kind of vary a little bit in time, somewhere between like 4 and 6 p.m. Eastern. So just join the Discord, check in the events channel, and you'll have all the info you need to have a good or a very weird time. So to the next time, fly dirty citizens.
Eat 'em up like a Georgia peach, pick it up like a Chevy beach. A string goes to 3, young boy don't play with me. Shooting my shot, ain't nobody wetter. I chop up his vids, ain't nobody better. See me jump down, don't end my crooked letter.
Hell yeah, it's the last gig of the night. Just gotta clean off this landing pad real quick. Then I'm gonna hit up my girl, see what she talking about tonight. Whoa, it's cold out here. Boy, I don't know about that. What is this? Jax was here. All right, ain't gonna be here too much longer because it's going straight in the trash.
What the is this? What?
Behold, the mighty Aegis Redeemer. It's time to see if this thing makes as good a paintbrush as it does a devastating killing machine.
Oh, hell no, man. What is this? No. You, Jax McCleary? You!
And if you bout that life.
Enemy down.